porous, passionless, and devoid of any kind of creativity are just some of the words to describe Leeds' performance against Everton. Frank Lampard once again getting the better of Marcelo Bielsa, with his team outworking, outdogging, and outthinking Leeds United on the day. Hey guys, boy JT, welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories, the hottest weekly, daily, monthly Leeds United update show that your lips have been craving for. And yes, we are going to be going through that 3-0 defeat to the hands of Everton at Goodison Park. And let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. You may not like him, you may think he's a smug, arrogant, whatever you want to call him, but fair play to Frank Lampard today. He had our number, he pressed us down, they outworked us, they outgunned us, they wanted it more than us, and fair play to Everton today. They were the better team, and there's no excuse that we can put up for it. It was a weak performance from Leeds, struggling to make 2 to 3 consecutive passes at times. Some of the things I was looking at was nothing short of fraudulent, nothing short of disgraceful. At times, the accuracy on the ball, the lack of energy, the way that Everton were just coming through us with ease. Yes, I think Rodrigo Moreno, very unlucky not to get a couple of goals for him in the first half. But you're looking at the second half, you're thinking, how are we going to respond to Everton outworking us? How are we going to respond to Everton crushing us off? Bielsa makes what I would call a questionable decision, taking Rafinha off, who's having a chat with his countryman Richarlison right now. And in the second half, we showed nothing more. We started off the first 10 minutes with a bit more energy, a bit more high-octane pressing, a bit more about our game. But nothing, no cutting edge. Every single ball was a heavy ball. The amount of times someone made a run, whether it be Dan James, Rodrigo, Rafinha in the first half, Jack Harrison a hell of a lot, and they just leather the ball at them so hard, and then it would go off for a goal kick. It happened about 5, 6, 7 times that game, man. Defensively, again, weak, porous. Those first 2 goals, I mean, the second goal from the set piece, yeah, it was a fine header, but someone's going to be picking him up there. Struijk left his man. He came over the top of him too easily. The first goal, I mean, that was just kamikaze defending at its finest, with Llorente slashing it back into his own goal, trying to block it, and then Coleman sliding in and nodding it, or rather, notching it home and breaking the deadlock for Everton. The third goal, yes, it was a bit of quality, but again, no pressure on him. Another game of musical statues for that Leeds midfield. Less movement than a still image. I'm telling you, man. I said it before, I'll say it again. When they get the midfield runners on the pool, they had Allen doing it today. They had Van der Beek picking the ball up from deep. And they were just causing us utter bedlam. No one actually tracking the runners back. No one in the right position to stop them from coming through. Dan James up front today. Yes, he was fantastic against Villa. Today, he was pretty invisible. He went out on the wing in the second half, had a bit more joy to his game, took on a couple of players, a nice couple of runs, but again, end product not there. Couldn't finish in a brothel today. Jack Harrison goes back to the Jack Harrison of his first year at Leeds, where he just can't take anyone on at all. He was stumbling, he was overthinking everything and losing out big time. Rafinha, like I say, don't think he should have come off. Klitsch, again, was pretty invisible in that first half. Rodrigo Moreno, I think, was probably one of our standout players in the game. Robin Koch, I mean, he dropped down into centre half at times, but again, he was pretty invisible. Stuart Dallas wasn't really... I mean, he came off pretty early. Before then, he was all right, but he came off. Yeld came on. didn't cover himself in glory. Meslier, I'd say, was probably one of our best players again. Meslier, just like last time we played Everton, with some fine stops again, really saving us. If I'd get one, if I didn't have two of them, I'd like the third. Bolton beat Oxford 3-2. Still a point behind us. Yes, still a point behind us, but with a game in hand, though. With a game in hand, Fat Frank did us. He did indeed, although he's actually looking quite slim now since leaving that Chelsea job all those moons ago. Sorry to say Bielsa cost us today. Hey, look, that's You know, it's a fair opinion. Fair opinion. No. Look, the man is not without criticism. I know I love him so much, and a lot of people do, and which is why I find it hard to criticize him at all. I think he does deserve a little bit of criticism today. I don't think he deserves hate. I don't think he deserves abuse. You know what? Sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people see things differently to us. And maybe he did. Look, I disagree with the fact that he took Rafinha off. I disagree with the fact that he didn't start Forshaw. I don't think he deserves a lot of the hate and a lot of the abuse that people have been giving him. But yeah, you could say he did cause us some problems today. But I think most importantly, the players cost us today. Because what can Bielsa do about players not making more than three consecutive passes? Players unable to take players on, unable to have any confidence going forward. I mean, yeah, like I said, maybe you could say they have so much mental fatigue because Bielsa worked them so hard with the positions and the patterns and the one-touch passing and the movements that they have to get into. Maybe they're so mentally fatigued that's why they were misplacing everything. Maybe you can level a criticism at Bielsa for that, but I mean, when they're just constantly caught out of position, when they're getting outworked, outpressed, outgunned, I don't know if you can blame that all on Bielsa, but yes, he did make a couple of mistakes today, in my opinion. One word, woeful. Woeful indeed, especially after that Aston Villa game where I thought we played really well and so unlucky to not get the win there. It's like I said, man. We go from playing really well, getting unlucky to not get the win, going into the next game, and then getting our ass handed to us and just throwing it away. And that's what happened today, unfortunately. It was just one of those performances today. Would you guys say there was any standout players? Is there anyone here that you think... Let me get the squad back on the screen for you here. Was there anyone here that you think actually deserved some sort of credit today? Credit in the bank. Jamie Milner, one word, woeful. How's it going, Jamie Miller, my man? Haven't seen you before, my brother. How are you? Same with you, Michael Bubb. Too tired. The players are tired as well. Look, man, yeah, you got to look at the squad as well. And I don't know why we didn't make any signings in the January transfer window. And yeah, I mean, that's another criticism you could level at Bielsa. Saying no to Donny van de Beek. Whether he'd go to us anyway, whether we pay enough money is another story. But saying no to Donny van de Beek, questionable in and of itself. I tell you what Bielsa can do. Don't take off Rafinha and definitely don't bring on Tyler Roberts, especially when you have Joffy on the bench. I don't know why Joffy Gelhardt didn't get a crack, to be fair. I don't know why Rafinha came off. Would that have made that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things? Of course we don't know. Of course we don't know. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, and we know that it didn't work without them. Would it have worked with them? That's certainly what I would have done, and I would have started with Forshaw, so you didn't have to make that change there. But, hey, hindsight's a wonderful thing, like we say, and you never know. Too much jock, not enough strap. Couldn't have put it better myself. That is just a synopsis of a lot of Leeds' games this season. Too much jock, not enough strap. Couldn't have put it better myself. And I tell you something, Rodrigo's so unlucky not to get a goal. And I think if Rodrigo gets at least one of those goals, if not both of them, it's a very different game. It's a very, very different game. It's fine margins in football. If that is a tiny bit further out, a tiny bit lower, a tiny bit more dip on it, both of them would have whistled into the back of the net, off the crossbar and in. And it would have been a completely different game. One of them would have made it 1-1. The other one would have made it 2-2. Hey, that could have completely changed it. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be today. A very, very flat performance. Flatter than a pancake. Not thick and juicy like my arse. Unfortunately, a very, very flat performance. Robin Koch, without his Viagra today, looked very, very flaccid in there. Unable to keep up with the Iwobi's pace. Unable to keep up with the Richarlison's movement, who played very, very well. For Everton today, I think Iwobi was sensational. I know he's a laughing stock a lot of the time, but Iwobi was phenomenal, especially in that first half there. Gordon is pressing in the second half. Even late in the first half, he was really causing us some problems down that right-hand side there. Richarlison in the middle. Even Calvert-Lewin was making great runs off there. It was a great performance from Everton. I don't want to take anything away from them, but Leeds today did not show up. Throbbing Cock was most definitely placid. How have I not thought of that one before? How have I not thought about that one? Throbbing Cock. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to speak to you. I will see you guys very, very soon. Onwards and upwards for Leeds. I hope you have a very good weekend. I hope this doesn't destroy your weekend like it's going to do mine. But I do love you guys. Onwards and outwards. Au revoir, my brothers. Hello.